Every V10 sound explained. Lexus LFA. Let's start with what enthusiasts universally agree is the best sounding V10 ever made. Possibly the best sounding engine, period. The Lexus LFA's 4.8-liter V10 wasn't just engineered, it was composed. Lexus brought in Yamaha's musical instrument division. Yes, the same people who make pianos and guitars tuned this engine to produce specific harmonic frequencies. The result? An engine that literally creates a perfect chord as it climbs through the rev range. The secret is in the obsessive engineering. The intake and exhaust were tuned to create a sound that peaks at 3,000 hertz, the frequency that triggers maximum emotional response in humans. The titanium connecting rods, forged aluminum pistons, and titanium valves all contribute to a metallic quality that's impossible to replicate. At 9,000 RPM, 500 RPM higher than most V10s can even dream of, the LFA produces a sound that's been described as angels having an orgasm. Jeremy Clarkson called it the best sounding car ever made. And he's driven everything. The digital tachometer? That's because an analog needle literally couldn't keep up with how fast this engine revs. Even the cabin was designed as an acoustic chamber to amplify certain frequencies while dampening others. Porsche Carrera GT. The Carrera GT's 5.7-liter V10 started life as a Formula One engine that never raced. Porsche took this stillborn race engine and somehow made it street legal. The result is one of the most spine-tingling sounds ever created. What makes it special is the combination of massive displacement and high RPM capability. At 5.7 liters, it's one of the largest V10s ever made. Yet it still screams to 8,400 RPM. The sound is both deep and shrieking, like a banshee that's been hitting the gym. That ceramic clutch adds its own mechanical symphony. A whirring, clicking sound that lets everyone know you're driving something that could kill you. Paul Walker's tragic death forever linked this engine to danger, but that danger is part of what makes the sound so intoxicating. Lamborghini Gallardo. The Lamborghini V10 is what happens when Italian engineers decide to build an engine that sounds like it's permanently having a mental breakdown. This 5.2-liter naturally aspirated masterpiece doesn't just make noise, it makes drama. The 90-degree bank angle creates an uneven firing order that gives it that distinctive lumpy idle. It sounds broken when it's working perfectly. Below 4,000 RPM, it grumbles like it's plotting revenge. Above 4,000 RPM, it transforms into a shrieking demon that climbs all the way to 8,700 RPM. The Superleggera took the standard Gallardo and removed 100 kilograms of weight. Less sound deadening means more sound transmission. Every mechanical noise is amplified. Lamborghini Huracan. The Huracan refined the formula without losing the insanity. The intake howl is sharper, the exhaust note is crisper, and those overrun pops and crackles sound like small explosions. It's the automotive equivalent of an Italian argument, loud, passionate, and impossible to ignore. Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. The Sesto Elemento took weight reduction to the extreme, just 999 kilograms. With almost no sound deadening, the V10's voice is completely unfiltered. This is what the Lamborghini V10 sounds like when you remove everything between you and the engine. Audi R8. The Audi R8 shares its V10 with Lamborghini, but the Germans had different ideas about how it should sound. Where Lamborghini went for raw emotion, Audi went for controlled aggression. The exhaust routing is completely different. The R8's rear exit exhaust creates a deeper, more refined note. But don't mistake refinement for boring. This thing still screams to 8,700 RPM with genuine fury. The party trick is the exhaust valve system. In comfort mode, it's quiet enough to daily drive without annoying your neighbors. Hit the exhaust button and those valves open up, unleashing the full fury of the naturally aspirated V10. It's like Clark Kent ripping off his shirt to reveal Superman. Dodge Viper. If every other V10 is trying to sing, the Viper is trying to intimidate. This 8.4-liter monster doesn't scream, it roars. Based on a truck engine and enlarged to absurd proportions, the Viper V10 is all about displacement and violence. Each cylinder is massive, 840 cubic centimeters per cylinder. That's bigger than most motorcycle engines. The result is a sound that's so deep, so thunderous, that you feel it in your chest cavity. It's not trying to hit high frequencies, it's trying to shake buildings. The early models with side exit exhausts were even more dramatic. The sound would literally bounce off the ground and hit you from below. At idle, it sounds like it's barely containing an explosion. At full throttle, it sounds like the explosion is happening. BMW M5/M6 S85. BMW's S85 V10 is what happens when you take Formula One technology and stuff it into a luxury sedan. This 5-liter screamer revs to 8,250 RPM and sounds like nothing else. The sound is completely different from other V10s. Instead of deep rumble or Italian shriek, the S85 produces a metallic, mechanical wail that gets more intense as it climbs. It sounds like precision engineering having a nervous breakdown. The individual throttle bodies, one for each cylinder, create an intake symphony that's almost as loud as the exhaust. You hear 10 separate throttles snapping open and closed, creating a mechanical orchestra. The M5 Touring is the ultimate sleeper. It looks like a family wagon but sounds like a Formula One car. The cognitive dissonance of seeing a station wagon making these sounds never gets old. The dark side? This engine was so unreliable it became legendary for the wrong reasons. Rod bearings would fail catastrophically. Vanos units would explode. Throttle actuators would die. It sounded like heaven. Had the reliability of a 1970s Alfa Romeo. Audi S8 D3. The D3 Audi S8 is the ultimate sleeper V10. It shares the 5.2-liter V10 with Lamborghini, but Audi buried it under layers of sound, deadening, and luxury. At idle, you'd never know there's a supercar engine under the hood. But floor it, and the beast awakens. The V10 screams to its 7,000 RPM redline with genuine supercar fury. It's like finding out your accountant is secretly a cage fighter. Volkswagen Touareg V10 TDI. Here's the V10 nobody expects, a 5-liter twin-turbo diesel that sounds like nothing else on the road. Instead of high-pitched screaming, you get deep rumbling diesel clatter, multiplied by 10 cylinders. The sound is completely unique. It's part diesel truck, part jet engine, with the turbos adding their own whistle to the mix. Under load, it sounds like a locomotive that's been shrunk down to SUV size. Dodge Ram SRT10. Take the Viper's 8.3-liter V10, detune it slightly, and stuff it in a pickup truck. The result is one of the most absurd vehicles ever made, and it sounds exactly as ridiculous as you'd expect. The sound is pure Viper, deep, thunderous, angry, but it's coming from a pickup truck. Your brain can't process it. It's like hearing an opera singer's voice coming from a construction worker. Ford E-Series/Triton 6.8-liter. Not every V10 was built for supercars. Ford's 6.8-liter Triton V10 powered everything from F-250s to motorhomes to E-Series vans. It sounds exactly like what it is, a working-class hero, Formula One V10s. From 1989 to 2005, Formula One was dominated by V10 engines that revved to absolutely insane speeds. We're talking 19,000 plus RPM, speeds that would cause a road car engine to explode into a million pieces. Each manufacturer had their own sound signature. Renault's V10s had a particular shriek that was sharper, more aggressive. You could identify a Renault-powered car just by listening. BMW pushed the limits even further, reaching 19,500 RPM in qualifying trim. The sound was less like an engine and more like a controlled explosion happening 325 times per second. The sound of F1 V10s echoing through the Monaco tunnel remains one of the most iconic sounds in motorsport. It was loud enough to cause permanent hearing damage from trackside. These weren't just engines, they were weapons of acoustic warfare. Peugeot 905. Before Peugeot dominated Le Mans with diesels, they conquered it with a screaming 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V10. The 905 won Le Mans in 1992 and 1993, and its sound became legendary. Dallara SP1 Judd. The Dallara SP1 used a Judd GV4 V10, a 4-liter engine built specifically for privateer racing teams. It revved to 11,000 RPM and was legendarily loud. McLaren Solus GT. The McLaren Solus GT proves V10s aren't dead yet. This track-only hypercar uses a 5.2-liter naturally aspirated V10 that revs past 10,000 RPM. The sound is cleaner, more refined than older V10s. but no less dramatic. It's proof that even in the age of turbos and hybrids, there's still magic in a naturally aspirated V10. V10 engines create unique sounds because of their firing order and bank angle. Most use a 90-degree bank angle with an uneven firing pattern. This creates harmonic frequencies that your brain interprets as exciting, aggressive, or emotional. V8s fire every 90 degrees of crankshaft rotation. V12s fire every 60 degrees. But V10s fire every 72 degrees, creating an irregular pattern that gives them their distinctive character. It's why a V10 sounds rougher than a V12, but smoother than a V8. The V10 era is essentially over. Emissions regulations, fuel economy requirements, and electrification have killed most V10 production. The Lamborghini Huracan and Audi R8 are the last naturally aspirated V10s you can buy new, and they're both ending production soon. What we're losing isn't just sound, it's emotion, character, soul. These engines didn't just power cars. They created experiences, memories, dreams. From the Lexus LFA's musical perfection to the Viper's brutal honesty. From the BMW's technical precision to Formula One's absolute insanity. Each V10 told its own story through sound. These aren't just engines. They're the last of the naturally aspirated gladiators, creating symphonies that will echo in automotive history long after the last V10 falls silent. Let us know which V10 was your favorite, and if we missed any. Want more breakdowns like this? Then subscribe for more and join us along for the ride.